All right. Alrighty. Um, this video, I'm going to be continuing reading from The End of All Evil. I put a link in the description for my chapters 1 and 2 of that book. This is reading of chapter 3. I want to go back to the last passage from chapter 2 and excuse me, maybe say a few words. Control. Evil seeks to be a master over you. Evil wants you to be a slave. What we consider as real slavery is indeed only one form of slavery. The African slaves in the United States were compelled to work and toil for other people's benefit. Their lives were mostly controlled for the benefit of the master, but they had some very limited freedoms. Some were able to create distinct traditions and maintain families. They did their best to build joy into their lives despite the tyranny wrought upon them. Because they were in control of portions of their lives, were they free? How much freedom does a person deserve? How much freedom can be destroyed before we recognize that it is evil? Slavery is not a concept of totality. Slavery exists wherever the freedom of man is destroyed. Theft and bullying are slavery. In history, American natives, Jews, and many others have experienced lifelong slavery. The ultimate slavery is murder. Slavery stops people from being able to make choices for their own lives. Everything that restricts your mind, your movements, and your speech is evil. Slavery is found in both the partial and complete destruction of freedom. Evil compels you to behave in manners that do not benefit you or those you love. Culture and law exercise overwhelming force in the name of propriety and public good. They destroy freedom and put human lives under other people's control. So I wanted to read that again, the end of chapter 2, because I like when things flow. And I'm a person that's reading like 10, 12 books at a time. And so I like to backtrack. It's helpful for me. But although I do want this to be somewhat of just a cohesive reading, I think it's worthy of commenting on thus far. You know, I'm going to have to do another show about this entirely, but I was sent a video from one of my friends today, and it talked about the strength of the feminine. And I watched a talk from just a few days ago about sex work is work. And it was a commentary on somebody else's post, and unfortunately, that video was made private. But I think the commentary by CJ stood alone. So in a future talk, I'll have to link to these two videos that I'm talking about right now. But just as a side note, like one thing I like to ponder on is like, what are the messages that just come through? It's fine if you pick up the book that you're interested in reading and you get some inspiration from it, but I think it's also really cool when somebody just throws something at you that you've never heard of before, and it resonates, and you're like, "Oh, oh, that's great. That really, like, aligns with what I've been thinking about or what, you know, whatever." And, I think it's cool when you get to when people throw content at you that challenges what you think as well. You don't just need to live in echo chamber of listening to every point of view that affirms your beliefs. But anyway, I just thought it was really cool because I've been thinking a lot about this concept of freedom and, of course, politics because it's an election season. In fact, I just got my mail-in ballot today in the mailbox. And I honestly, I've really been struggling with this idea of voting just in general. And, you know, like I said, I'm struggling with it. I don't necessarily want to get into that, but I just feel like, yeah, maybe we're just clinging on to the idea that our vote matters. I mean, a lot of people argue that we fought for the right to vote. So if you don't vote, then you're squandering that. Um, but I don't know. I'm just in a place where I'm really confused. So that's why I'm exploring these other things. And so I will stop babbling and I will continue on to chapter 3. Authority. You are born to this world with sovereignty over your mind and over your life. Your abilities to think, to feel, to learn, and to love are your liberty. In you, these capacities are infinite. You have infinite worth. Evil seeks to destroy your liberty. It seeks to be in authority over you. It does not want you to have liberty. Evil seeks to destroy you so that it can use you as a puppet. So, side note, that's why I'm questioning, the whole idea of like the Constitution, democracy, blah, blah, blah. Because, yeah, I think we've been used as puppets, frankly. That's just where I think we're at. But, yeah. Sadly, I mean, at least, yeah, oh, cool, I got a comment. CJ, your honesty is refreshing. The question of what freedom means is a tough and nebulous concept to parse through. Yeah, I know. And see, like, it's embarrassing to be so honest, but maybe this diarrhea of the mouth is what more people need in a way. Like, from the authentic place, we need babblers. We don't need the babblers that are just spouting off the same old, like, crap. The dogma, the proselytizing, you know. And I think people believe they're being honest when they're just parroting what they've been conditioned to say. And I'm guilty of that totally. And and that's part of this project because I wanted to keep track of all the traps that I've been falling into, you know? And that's why usually in my videos, if you go past to like any of my previous videos, I've tried to include some links to the points of view that I was watching at that time, because I think this is really a historical record. And it's not just my personal journal. I mean, I want it to be something that is personal to me, but if others are willing to participate, I think that's really cool too, because it's motivating for me to keep going. But yeah, years ago, I came up with this concept. Someone was like, "Oh, Kate, I admire your free spirit." And I was like, "What the fuck is that? What free what?" And so even though I was still totally bought into the idea of like comfort and success, and like I was trying out this career in broadcasting, and I was really young then and just getting into it. And it was like toe in, but I didn't really, really want to look at the gross nature of the world. I was still really, really scared up until just recently. I've been counting back to all the different ways that I bought into all this crap. And I think that is my motivation to just keep going and to keep doing this and to look ridiculous publicly and put myself at risk, because I've already lost like my entire social circle with one decision, which was like, well, I don't want to be medicalized in order to be able to work. So bye-bye career, you know. And I'm actually really privileged that I was able to afford to do that, you know? And I don't blame my friends that couldn't afford to quit. Anyway, speaking of authority, chapter 3. You were born to this world with sovereignty over your mind and over your life. Your abilities to think, to feel, and to learn and to love are your liberty. In you, these capacities are infinite. You have infinite worth. Evil seeks to destroy your liberty. It seeks to be an authority over you. It does not want you to have liberty. Evil seeks to destroy you so that it can use you as a puppet. The implementation of evil is called authority. Authorities are what evil implements as it exercises control over the lives of people. Authority limits your ability to learn, to think, to feel, to love, to grow. This is why authority is evil. Authorities are not accidents. They are specifically created by intelligent people to control. There are two tools that evil makes use of in order to accomplish this. Both tools destroy freedom. They are culture and violence. Each of these tools of authority have weapons which are used to attack your liberty. The weapons of violence are theft, imprisonment, torture, rape, and death. The weapons of culture are law and the control of speech. Hello. So the next part is called violence. I'm going to take a break because my bandwidth is really bad. I'm watching the lag happen right now. But thanks for watching. I'm going to continue this tomorrow. And I'm so grateful. Thank you. Good night.